Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Warrior Class Soundwave from Transformers Cyberverse. Just found this at my local Walmart. I was very surprised, didn't even know these guys were out yet. Think the animation up here looks fantastic. Figure looks a little weirdly wide here in the chest. That might just be how it's packaged. We'll have to wait and see. You can see here standard Decepticon group shot over here on the side, Warrior Class. Not too much going on the bottom. Ooh, mine's actually open a little bit already. Uh-oh. Hope the instructions are still inside. I think they are. Taking a look on the back, you can see that his alt mode is kind of a armored truck kind of situation. But he has laser beak blast. He does have laser beak kind of pop out of his chest. Function calculating spy. So there you go. On the bottom, you can see Prowl and Hot Rod also advertised. I've already reviewed Prowl. He was pretty cool. Hoping to find Hot Rod. But that'll pretty much do it for the packaging. So let's go ahead. Let's get this guy out of the box and we'll take a closer look. Here is Soundwave out of the packaging. The shoulders kind of do fold up a little bit. They were kind of in the packaging like this. So they do kind of click up and they kind of snap into place there. Still a little wide for my taste, but not terrible. He is a little back heavy, and you'll understand why in a minute, because that's how his gimmick works. But I have to say, paint application's actually not bad. I kind of like the head sculpt. Let's get a little bit closer there. Nice red menacing visor. It's got that painted nice gray faceplate. And then all of the gold here in the chest. It's a little smudgy, but really pretty good. The Decepticon symbol looks great. Got a little bit of gray here in the shoulders, a little bit of red here on the weapon. And they have the play buttons painted on his waist, even though he's not a tape player or any kind of music device anymore. I do appreciate that just for, you know, the nod of the aesthetic of the original. So I think he looks pretty good. This thing hanging out here I think is supposed to be some kind of radar dish. If you really hate that, you can fold it in. If you don't like that, it's up to you. That will come into play later on. Head does not move. Ball joint here in the shoulder. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. And you can actually go backwards. I guess technically almost 180 degrees. But, you know, it's not really... doesn't really need to go that far back. Nothing in the waist. Ball joint in the hip. No thigh swivel or anything. You have pretty much a huge range of motion in the knee because of the transformation. But from the knee down is one solid piece. So, oh, and I just noticed I'm missing a wheel. Well, that's not good. Was that in the packaging? Why do I always get ones that are missing wheels? My Inferno was the same way. I'll have to look around. Hopefully that's somewhere. What is my luck? Maybe that's why the box was open? I don't know, guys. What's going on with me and losing wheels? That's twice now. My my Power of the Primes Inferno is missing a wheel. Well, that is a bummer. I don't know, I'll have to look around. Maybe I broke it off somehow? I don't think so, but I'll look for it. Anyway, that's it for articulation. Decent, not amazing. You know, these guys are super simplified, so they don't have bicep swivels, they don't have wrist movement, they don't have thigh swivels. But I will say that they make up for it in paint applications, because like I said, those paint applications are pretty sharp. How his gimmick works... if you straighten this out all the way, so turn this so that the gun here is closer to his head, you have the pop out of the Super Energon looking laser beak. Now I do think it's nice they actually painted the eyes and the tip of the beak, but everything else is a translucent pink plastic, but it actually looks pretty cool. But you have to, if you want this like all the way close to his head, you have to have this deployed. The other thing I think is kind of neat, I don't know if it was intentional, it probably was, but you can see here that the joint, the kind of piece for the hinge on the chest, is in line to be the talons of Laserbeak. That's just genius. That's absolutely genius. So I just really appreciate that. I think that's so smart, because you know you have to have that hinge there anyway. Integrate it, make it part of Laserbeak. Really well done. How this works, you're going to have to turn this back a little bit, otherwise you won't be able to push them back in, but you fold the wings and just push the whole thing back in, and you'll hear it click, and then this will naturally spring back closed. It's spring loaded to stay closed, which is nice. So it's a little bit of a bummer that you can't have this like a full 90 degrees to be right next to his head, but you can get it fairly close before it knocks the mechanism. So pretty neat. I think the gimmick actually works. Like I said, it makes him a little back heavy just because that's all stored in this solid bit of his body. But overall, I think he looks decent. Decent articulation, decent paint applications. Well, actually, I'll give it, the paint applications I'll upgrade to pretty good. I have like a weird sliding scale that I make up as I go along. But yeah, I think the paint applications, especially in the chest and the head, are pretty good. But we'll see in vehicle mode they're a little lacking. But let's go ahead and let's get to the vehicle mode now. Transformation is actually pretty simple. Seems to be kind of par for the course with these Cyberverse Warrior class. You're going to spin this all the way around, and then this box will kind of engulf the head, and then you just swivel that, and that hides the head there. You're going to push the 2 feet together like that. This whole section will flip down, and then you'll actually see that there's a tab right here, and it goes into this hole here. So when you push this up like that, it will not let this gimmick deploy anymore. That tab actually stops it from deploying in vehicle mode. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I kind of think it would be funny to just have him, you know, driving along and then the back of the vehicle opens up and have Laserbeak pop out, but they have decided it will not be so. Then you're just going to straighten these out, and then these will flip around, and you will peg. You'll see that there's a little tab right there, and there's a little tab slot in there, so you'll just kind of bring these in, line that up, peg it in, and there you go. There's your vehicle mode. Little armored car, armored truck. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's funny how slender it gets because of how the arms flip around like that. So I think that was a good idea. Obviously, I wish I had all 4 wheels. I went back and checked the video. I didn't have it in the package, so I don't know if... I don't think it would have fallen off because that little corner was open. I think just once again, Hasbro gypped me a wheel. That's twice, Hasbro. I'm keeping track. Got to start really checking the wheels on my Transformers before I buy these things. But this was the only one in the store, so I probably would have bought it anyway. So even if you have all 4 wheels, I feel like it rolls decently. The arms hang down enough that I feel like they get in the way, no matter how hard I try to push them up. But it would still roll fairly decently, but just not amazingly. Even if I had all 4 wheels. So it is what it is. But I understand, you know, obviously I prefer my Soundwave to be a, you know, cassette deck. But that's not really relevant anymore. So I understand why they're moving more towards making him a vehicle, because it's just easier to do. And I think this vehicle actually looks pretty decent. And the transformation is simple but fun. So, not bad. Just make sure you have all 4 wheels when you're picking yours out in the store. All in all, I think Soundwave is pretty cool. Love the color scheme. I think the paint applications we got are great. Really did a nice job with that. I think the gimmick is a lot of fun. The translucent pink Laserbeak bursting out of his chest is pretty cool. It would have been neat if you could take it out, but I understand how that would have been more difficult to get it to kind of set back in if it was detachable completely, so that makes sense. I really applaud them for using the hinge on the chest door to integrate into being the talons of Laserbeak. I feel like that's really smart and just really well done. Sure, he could have a little bit more articulation, and in vehicle mode he could definitely have a little bit more paint applications, but Cyberverse is kind of known to be a little bit more basic, I think, because it's aimed at a lower group of children. But I have to say, I think kids can handle the more difficult transformations. And some of these, the plastic, I don't want to say feels cheap, but it definitely feels thinner, and a lot of hollow areas, especially kind of in the shoulders here and definitely the back of the legs. So I feel like they are making these a little bit cheaper, but they're giving us more paint applications, and I'm sure the gimmicks cost money, so they're just kind of reallocating the funds, so you just kind of have to decide what's important to you. Obviously, if you just want a really good Soundwave figure, buy the Wave 2 Siege Voyager that's coming out soon. If you want like a fun little gimmicky Soundwave, you can pick this up for $15. So obviously there's a huge price discrepancy there, about double. So you kind of just have to evaluate what you're looking for. Because I think if you just want a fun little gimmicky Soundwave, I think this guy's a lot of fun. Now, he's a little bit cheap in the plastic quality, hollow in certain spots, But a kid would have a blast with this, and I'm having fun with it too. I think the gimmick is a lot of fun and looks good. And the paint applications, again, I know I've been going on about them a lot, but it really impressed me for this kind of figure, so I was really surprised about that. Yeah, so I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Please make sure yours has all 4 wheels when you're trying to pick these up in store. Just take a minute and look in the packaging and make sure you get all your wheels, because, you know, you should have all 4 wheels. In any case, I'm not going to harp on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.